which libraries? React. We need React libraries. It's ready. Next, we need Babel also. Na? So we need Babel. Babel is compiler. Huh? So script, source, node modules, Ethernet Babel, standalone, babel.js. After that, now you need here. So create virtual DOM. How to create virtual DOM? Script. You learned already. Script type must be text slash what? Babel. Mandatory. Am I right? How to create virtual DOM in a new React 18 and 19 version? Constant root. What is it? React DOM dot which method? Create root method. Which one should be used as root? Document get element by ID. What is it? Root. And into that root, we have to render. We need to render. Actually, what we done earlier is we rendered a simple text, welcome or hello, some text. So earlier we are rendering a simple text. Now I am rendering welcome to React. And when you run this, so first we check, is it working fine? It is working fine. So we are enabling React and we are creating virtual DOM and we are rendering. This all process we already learned. Now the point is, it should not render a message, it should render one component. So how we can create components? First, you should know what is a component. And I already explained in a separate session about what is a component, we detailedly learned. So I'm not repeating that. So we already learned that point. What is component? So component is a reusable design template. Every component has three basic things: markup, styles, and logic. So how we can design component? Let's see. So how to create component? First point means what are the basic rules? So component is a function. So component is a function. Component is a function. So technically, what are the basic rules for this? First thing, component is a function. And when you are creating a component function, same, how many ways we can create a function? In how many ways we can design a function? In two ways. What are those? Function declaration, function expression, right? So component is a function you can create as declaration or as expression. You can do anything. What is difference between declaration and expression? Already we learned. So declaration allows hoisting. Expression will not allow hoisting. We know already what is hoisting. So remember, if you are not regularly attending the sessions, it will be difficult. You can't manage. If you miss any topic, you can't handle the next, right? If you miss the first sessions, you can't manage now. So it's not so simple and easy like as it looks. Because in your languages, you need to deal with logic. Here you need to deal with logic with interface. It will test your logical skills as well as design skills. Your Java.NET will test your logical skills. Here it will test 2. You can't handle if you miss certain concepts. You should be regular, right? So declaration, expression, no need to explain, already you know. So we can declare or we can write expression. But what is important rule is component function name must start with an uppercase letter. That is mandatory. For a function, starting with uppercase, lowercase doesn't matter. In JavaScript, no problem. But in React, every component function must start with uppercase letter. Mandatory. Otherwise, React will not treat it as a component. Every component function name must start with an uppercase letter. So, suppose I want to create a register component. Then 2 techniques, function, register. You can create like this. What is another technique? Constant register is equal to, what is it? Function. Or what is another technique? Constant register is equal to function. This is shorthand arrow technique. Anything you can do. Now nobody can ask like which one is best, because some components we write as expression because we want to access in an order. Some components we don't write expression because we want to access from anywhere. So there is nothing like which one is best. We use all. Situation wise, where you want to use the component, that depends. So we use expression and we use declaration. First rule, component function name must start with an uppercase letter. Uppercase letter. Next important is component function. Component function cannot be void type. It cannot be void type. So very important is it cannot be void type means it must return something. But what it should return? So component function must return a function with the JSX element. Component function must return a function with JSX element. A component function must return a function means it is a higher order function. Already we learned what are higher order function. So you cannot have a void type function. Function cannot be void. It must return a function with JSX element. Actually, here key point is React will not use HTML directly. It will not use HTML directly. React uses JSX. So which is JavaScript XML. It looks like HTML, but it is not HTML. It is JavaScript XML. What is difference is HTML will not allow any dynamic logic inside. HTML is just static, but JSX is dynamic. JSX is dynamic. It allows logic inside. HTML will not allow any logic inside. HTML is just static. We have to write logic and manipulate HTML. But JSX is dynamic. So it is not like HTML. So many rules are there. We will learn about them. So JSX rules we will discuss. Actually, JSX is used with dynamic binding, which is not supported in HTML. JSX is used with dynamic binding that is not supported in HTML. What is that dynamic binding? I will show. So JSX can define logic along with presentation. That is the specialty of JSX. It can retain logic along with presentation. Right. Now, there are more rules about JSX. I will show you what are basic rules. So first, we need to write a function. So here we have a function name some register. Now this function must return another function, and this function should return a JSX element. It should return a JSX element. It should return a JSX element. It's not HTML. It looks like HTML, but it is not HTML. It is JSX, JavaScript XML. Now in this JSX, so many rules are there. So many rules we need to follow. Let's see. So what are the basic rules? So let's point. We have JSX rules. Some important rules we need to follow. What are JSX rules? First important rule is component must return only one fragment of JSX. Component must return only one fragment of JSX. It cannot return multiple fragments. It should return only one fragment. What does it means? It means that, for example, you have function, register. Now we have return, and in that we are writing H2, H3, welcome. And so a paragraph, React 1918 something. So we return like this. Remember, JSX will contain all HTML elements like, but rules different. What are those rules? We will see. Now, when you write like this, actually the problem is this is invalid. Why it is invalid? Because it is returning two fragments, but JSX must return only one fragment. You cannot return two fragments. You can return only one. That means every return function should return only one. It should return only one fragment. Which fragment? Your wish, any container. Any container it can return, but it should be only one container. So everything should be wrapped into one container. It should be in one division or one semantic or non-semantic. That means here, what we have to do, what is the correct one? This is invalid. So what is valid? Register. And in that it is using a return. this return can have one div. In that division, you can have a heading. So in that you can have a paragraph. In that you can have anything. So now how many fragments it is returning? Only one. It is returning only one fragment. This is valid. So this is valid. That is valid. So whenever you are writing, so it can return only one fragment. The return must be only one fragment. So let's see. And so many more rules are there. So first basic rule, I hope you understood. So what are JSX rules? Huh? Yeah. So in JSX, first rule, every component should return only one frag. Another rule is JSX cannot have void element. So void element tags, or people call technically tokens, void element tokens. So every JSX element must have an end token. Every JSX element must have an end token, or it must be self-ending. This is mandatory. You cannot have void element tokens. Actually, in HTML, we have void elements. In HTML, elements are classified into 5. Normal elements, void elements, RC data, raw text, and foreign. Those are different 5 types of elements we have. In HTML, you people know. So generally, void elements don't have an end token, and here you cannot have them. For example, you know that you are using BR. So this BR is invalid. You need to use BR/BR. End is compulsory. So you return image. You never write image end. But here you have to write. Every element must end. And very important, this is invalid. You can write end token, or you can write like this. This is self-ending. You can write self-ending. So that self-ending is good, but not every time. Because if there are other child elements inside, you can't use self-ending. You need a start, another one, and that is mandatory to have. So another very, very important rule, you cannot have an element without end. Every element must end. Whatever HTML elements you have, you can use them. Only the point, you cannot have void. Every element must end. That is another rule. Next important is every JSX element cannot use attributes. It can use only properties. That is another point. They cannot use attributes, they can use only properties. In interviews, they ask for JavaScript, all these learners, what is difference between an attribute and a property? What is attribute and what is property? What is difference between an attribute and a property? I will show you the basic difference between attribute and property. For example, I will just show you here. Suppose we are having an image, width is 100 and height is 100. So in this image, we are writing width and height, and they are attributes. Width and height are attributes, and usually attributes are immutable. They can't change. You say 100, 100. They are fixed. Now I'm accessing this image by using JavaScript. And into that image, I am applying some SRC. This is actually property. It is a property. For example, if I write image with SRC, here SRC is attribute, not property. In an element, whatever you write is an attribute. They have fixed values. They don't change. But in React, it's not like that. In React, every element cannot have attributes. They can have properties on. Remember, attribute name, property name will be same, but not always. They will be same, but not always same. For example, so if I want to adjust the width and height, I can use dot width. I can use dot height. So attribute name is width. Property name is width. Attribute name is SRC. Property name is SRC. Not every time. Suppose I want to apply a CSS class. Then how do you write IMG? What is it? Class. But you know in JavaScript, you cannot use dot class because class is already a keyword. Then how you access it? Class in JavaScript? By using class name, not class. These are attributes and properties. In HTML element, when you write anything, they are considered as what? Attributes. But in JSX, they are not attributes. They are all properties. If you write class, it will show error. You cannot use the word class. You have to use class name. In JavaScript, you might have learned how to access elements and display some binding data, some dynamic properties. Right? So in JSX, we cannot use attributes. We have to use what? Properties. Properties. So generally, JavaScript uses properties. HTML don't use properties. Right? Almost all property names, attribute names are same. Some are different. Some are different. So JSX cannot use attributes. Here all should be what? Properties. So what does it means? Image class. So this is invalid because class is an attribute. Is an attribute and it is not allowed. Not allowed. Then how do you write? Image class name. And you can put any class name. How it can take dynamic values, you will see later. What is speciality here is it can change according to situation. How it changes according to situation, I will tell you. We'll see. So you can have image SRC. That is okay. Image width is okay. Image height is okay. There is no problem in them because in JavaScript also we use same names. Property name, attribute name are same. So this is valid. There is no problem in that. So here one small question I will give for your understanding. What is difference between attribute and property? At HTML itself, you should learn this. but I am showing a point here. Attribute is immutable and property is mutable. Property is mutable. That is the basic difference. Immutable means it cannot change dynamically. It can change dynamically. Change dynamically. That is actually property and attribute. So the basic rules of elements are these. JSX elements are these. As of now, these are enough. Later, you will get to know more rules when you are working with them. Okay. Let's see how to do this now. That means now basic rules you understood. Now by following all these rules, we need to design. Let's go into our design. Here I am writing a function called register. Make sure that its name starts with an uppercase letter, register R, and it should return one fragment. I will return a form, and form is one fragment. And in this form, I keep a heading, and you can see in the heading, I given like register user something. After that, I created a data list. I'm creating a simple interface, data term, username, all your HTML. So slash DT, yeah. Data definition. Now I need a text box and see I am writing input and input type as what? Text. And you can see it shows an error. JSX element input has no corresponding closing tag. That means every element must have an end. It must end token. Okay, I will copy. Another one is password and input type password. Just roughly we are creating. Okay, let's put a button and button is register. Okay, close the button. Now your component is ready. So now I want to render this component in the UI. I want to render the component in the UI. How we access the components? So how to access the component after creating? Next important point is you can access any component as a token. Token is tag. So generally HTML flow I given already. I explained HTML parsing to you, how HTML is translated in browser. In that tokenization, that means the functions are created as tokens. Then how you access it? Just register. That means you created your own element, just like input, just like button, you have your own element. You can use this or you can use this. Am I right? So self-ending or you can use an end token. So let's see now what I am doing. Now in the root, I will remove this and you can see it is empty. I will access register and you see there is a register. That means it is rendering the UI. You can have anything, any number of components. You can design any screen using this technique. That means now see, I am rendering, in your HTML, you have a lot of semantics. So I use a section semantic. I hope you people know, because in a body, we can have header, footer, section, semantic elements you learned in HTML. Right now, what I am doing, section. Now in this section, semantic, I am using register. It is normal, same as it is, but again register, another copy. You can reuse the components. I told you already, in Netflix, I'm watching this screen in two places. Means what? They copied and pasted? No. Actually, you do that before knowing this concept. If I ask you, I want this screen another place, you will copy and paste. That's not correct. You cannot copy and paste. You have to reuse. Right? That means I can use the same component in different locations any number of times. This is a component design. And what is the specialty? You extend the component, add a new feature, it will affect everywhere. We can control, so much is there. It is all 2 months of course about React. We will build very complicated weather applications, shopping applications, CRUD operation with database in backend APIs. So much we will do. Right? So we are going to build a complete application like weather app, build a complete application like a shopping app. So much we will do. This is just not even beginning of React 19. You haven't started anything. I am preparing you to learn React. This is not yet React. Still we haven't started. You are learning basics. Now don't think that you learned one example in React. No. It's just idea that okay, React works like this. That is a basic idea. You haven't still started anything. More complex designs will come. For example, see now, suppose in register component that we designed, in register component we designed, suppose I want to use a captcha. I want to use one captcha. Captcha means a random code. In registration form, login form, everywhere I want to use a captcha. So this is register. Suppose you want a login, what you do? Create another component. So let's create another function. And this time it is what? Login. According to rule, what it should return? It should return one fragment. I will return a form. In that fragment, I will just put a label. And in the label, your email and close label. And I will keep here an input type is email. And I will keep a button, say login. Close the button like this. We just created one form. Now I want this login below this. Then I will access the login also here. That means we have an register and login. Right? So I will put here a BR is a break. You know, there is a break. I will keep an heading here as login and heading close. You can add anything. That means there are multiple components. Now in the screen, you can see two components are there. One register component, another one login. Okay, no, I don't want this here. I can put this also inside login only now. Inside login, we can create. So we have two components. Now what I want is, I want captcha. I want something inside these components. For example, see, I will create another component function. Remember, there is no order. All must be inside that Babel area. Why there is no uh, order required? Because you are using declaration, you can access from anywhere. They support hoisting, you can access anywhere. So I say forgot password or forgot account. That is one option. It will return a simple, suppose a div. I will use a div. Okay, in this div, I will put an anchor. I will put an anchor. So here, forgot account details like this, account details. Then we will put a href to somewhere. Temporarily, I will use a hash. Now, what I want is, I want this forgot password for both register and login. Then what you can do, I can go to register. Below this button, I will keep here a what is it? Forgot account. We can access the component. It is available in register. You want to use in login, then go to the login, and here also you can just access forgot account. Here it is added here also. That means components are reusable. We can reuse, we can access from any location. So I don't want for login, I can remove. I don't want for login. Right? You can reuse a component inside component. So this is, what is it? Forgot account. Component inside component. In that component, another component, any level of hierarchy. We will see one real example. We'll see how we can design one real example using this technique. I hope you understood, right? So how do we design a component based UI? All modern user interfaces are like this. Angular, React, everything same mechanism, right? So the user interface that you see is not a plain HTML anymore. All modern applications, their UI is like this. They're all component based. Let's see one real example. For that, you need styling. You need classes to add work. Let's do one thing. I will copy this. Okay. I will put it as an example for you. This is an example, some netflix.html page. That's an example. Okay, let's create a real Netflix like screen, what we saw in that page. Let's create that. Let's see how we can design that. But for that, you need styling. We'll do one thing. For styling, we will take help of Bootstrap. So we have to do one more thing. Enable Bootstrap for your project. Bootstrap is a CSS toolkit. By using Bootstrap, you can create complex designs very fast and easy. Companies are using Bootstrap and Tailwind. Tailwind, Bootstrap, these are famous libraries used in companies. Almost every UI is built with Bootstrap and Tailwind. Every software developer, full stack developer means he must know Tailwind and Bootstrap. Mandatory. So generally people complain saying that I am uploading my resume, calls are not coming, companies are not calling. Why companies are not calling? So many reasons. One reason is your resume. Your resume. You may be any genius developer. If your resume is not good, then you will never get any call. Right? So many people, average skills, but good resume, they get so many calls. Right? So you are genius, you can do everything, but your resume doesn't speak good. Then no use. Right? These days, we don't entertain any half knowledge people. You are a Java developer, keep with your Java with you only. We don't want Java developer, .NET developer anymore. We want full stack developer. Right? We want full stack developer. You say I'm very good in Java certain area, keep it with you. Right? We don't want. Right? We want a person who can handle everything. We don't want specialists. Those days gone. Specialist days gone. So we need a person who can handle everything. And you are in AI generation. People are removing, means people are removed if they don't have good AI skills. Now, in this generation, you tell that I know only this, I don't know this, then it's not satisfying. So a full stack developer in current generation, in his resume, he must mention very good UI skills. Because for freshers, you know, you are a Java, .NET, Python or any technology developer. In your first project, when you start your career as a software engineer, you will start as a front-end developer only. What do you think? Companies will put you directly in Java, .NET like roles? No, they don't even trust 1% on you. That means you have done very good in interview, but we don't care because you still need to get exposed to real projects. And if we put you in complex roles like Java, .NET, you will mess up everything. You will create a lot of headaches every day. That's the reason we will not put you in that. Every software engineer career starts as a front-end developer, especially Java, .NET, Python, all these people. Means when you go to a company, first they will not trust you. They will just put you in front-end roles first. They will check how you are handling it. And once they gain little confidence on you that, okay, you are okay, then they will put you in Java role or .NET role. That means you should start your career as a front-end developer. Even you selected as Java developer, you will not work on Java. .NET developer, you will not work on .NET. You will be working in the front-end roles. 100% majority. Until or unless you are very exceptional in your skills and you are very good in your understanding of real projects. You have so many real-time tools, knowledge, good knowledge. Then they can put you in that role. Otherwise not. So that is the reason in the modern web designing, every full stack developer should have knowledge of Tailwind. They should knowledge of Bootstrap. Here we are not teaching you anything because this all HTML people learn. Here we will learn how to use them. Right? We are not teaching any Bootstrap. If you are not good at Bootstrap, in our Naresh IT website, YouTube channel, we have Bootstrap. One workshop is there. You can go through that. In YouTube channel, there is a Bootstrap workshop you can go through. 3-4 sessions of complete Bootstrap, how to use it from A to Z. So you will get a clarity on that. Tailwind also is there. You can try. You can check that. So how to enable Bootstrap and what it does? Let's see. How to enable Bootstrap? First point. What you have to do is install Bootstrap for your project. You have to run the command npm install bootstrap and bootstrap icons and save. Bootstrap and bootstrap icons. And to use Bootstrap in any page, so link the following files to your HTML page. What are the files you need? Bootstrap.css. I will give a complete path where they are situated also, easy for you. Link relation style sheet, href node modules, In that bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. This is one file. Another file is link relation style sheet href node modules in that bootstrap icons font bootstrap icons.css. This is another file. One script file is required. Script source node modules bootstrap dist js bootstrap.bundle.js. Once you link all these files, your page is ready to use Bootstrap. So first you need to install Bootstrap. Then all the library will be copied into node modules. You have to link these three files. How Bootstrap can make everything better, I will show you. We'll see that how we can make it better. First, I will show you in our existing page where we designed everything. All right, I will show you. Let's see. Now what I'm doing is in this, actually this page looks normal. There is no effective, attractive features here. Okay, let's install Bootstrap first. What you have to do, npm install Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons and save. I'm downloading and installing Bootstrap icons. It's done. Okay, let me link them. You can link anywhere. I will just put this is Bootstrap library. And what are the files? Link relation style sheet href node modules bootstrap dist bootstrap. Acha, spelling wrong. So I thought, yeah, spelling wrong. Bootstrap. Okay. Fine. It is updated. Now I will use Bootstrap. So this is dist css bootstrap dot what css. This is one file. Another file link relation is what? Style sheet and href node modules bootstrap icons in that font icons.css. This is second file. Third file is script source node modules bootstrap and bootstrap dist js bundle.js. Now Bootstrap is ready. You can see little bit appearance changes. Am I right? Because Bootstrap is enabled. Now you can use your Bootstrap knowledge to design this in a better way. For example, see what I'm doing. So how do we apply? Let's see. For this form, I'm applying class name. Remember, you cannot use class because it is property name now. Class name. I'm applying class W as some 25. That is width 25, border and border 2, border some secondary. Okay, padding is 3. And you can see the form one looks like this. And the main container where we have this section, I will put a class name as container fluid, and it will keep the presentation correct. And I will put padding 4 and you'll see some gap is there. And how you design with Bootstrap, you know, form elements are defined with class name as form control. Form control is username text box. This is form control. And password is having a class name. What is it? Form control. These are all Bootstrap classes. Button, we will put a class name as btn warning w100, and it is a button. So we are applying this as rounded and rounded 2. So little curved will come. And this button is having margin bottom is 3, some little gap will come. So this is Bootstrap. Now, what is the point? If you know Bootstrap, see, you are learning React and you can go for jobs as a React developer. So when an interviewer see that you are a React developer or Angular developer, they feel like you are a high-end genius front-end developer. Even you are not, they feel like that. Right? That means they expect too much from you. You say, I know React. That means they will change their mindset in understanding you. They think that, okay, React developer, great. Because the current generation UI in the world everywhere is React and Angular. And you are an React developer, great. Then what we expect from you is lot of front-end design. That means they imagine you like a genius front-end developer. And they give a lot of user interfaces which you need to design in real time. Right? See, when you go to interviews also, what kind of tasks are given to you? They give CRUD operation task. You know, na? So every software developer, as a full stack developer, you are tested on CRUD operation. CRUD operation means create, read, insert, update, and delete. You need to handle all of them. What they will ask you, if you are a Java, .NET, Python, or any other developer, they will say that create one database in your Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB, anywhere. Write server-side business logic in your Java, .NET, PHP, Python, anywhere. Create a front end with React and interact. From front end, I should able to insert data into database. I should able to update, delete. And front end, they give screenshots. They will say that this is the design I want. You implement filtering, searching, sorting, adding, deleting. And in the current generation interviews for full stack developers, you are not selected as a developer if you cannot do this. First, they will check whether your functionality is going fine. Next, they check is your UI fine. First priority, logic. Logically, everything should work first. Second priority is design. They see that you achieved the same screenshot, what they given. And do you know, in MNC level companies also, what they do, they say that we will send an email task. You go home and try this. In 2 days time, you will submit this. They give 2-3 days time. And see, now imagine a person, they give a task to you to do at home. And they say that submit before 2 days. That means they know that you will take help from so many. But still they are confident that you can't do. That's the reason they say that go home. In 2 days, submit your task. Even for senior people. Even for senior people, they will say that take 2-3 days time. In 2-3 days, you design this and send us. That means they know that you will take help. These days, ChatGPT everywhere. You ask, it will create everything. But they even know that you generated with ChatGPT. Right? What do you think? After all, just basic technology learner, you will fool a software company. Yeah? What is your level? PT and those people don't know. Those people build software, man. You are after all learner. That means they know all your abilities. They know where to handle, how to handle. They exactly know what even AI cannot help you. They know exactly. where AI cannot help you, and they exactly know where AI helped you. That means by seeing 1-2 lines of code, they can even tell that from which website you copied that line. Right? That is the reason you must be very strong in manually approaching, not taking help of any others tools. I will show you how to take help of AI tools, but last stage, we should able to design without that, right? And now just design functionality also we can give. See what is the functionality we can give for this. I will make it as alert. I will make it as alert dismissible. I will make it as alert warning. And you can see the form looks like this. And what I will do is here at the button, I will add a button. And in this button, I will put a class as BTN and some BTN and BTN close. And you can see there is a close button. On this button click, I want to close. Then data BS dismiss. BS dismiss is alert. And you can see that when I click, it will close. This is all Bootstrap. Right? We are not writing any logic here. All Bootstrap. I want a nav bar. I want a toolbar. I want a carousel. All Bootstrap. Right? That means it is going to make it work. On a button click, it should open. On close click, it should close. I want this login to open as a pop-up. Am I right? Things in the next level. So first you need to understand how do we create this design, right? How do we create and configure this design? So what I'm doing additionally here, I'm adding Bootstrap to my design. So if you know that, you can create lot of real world designs if you can enable that. So what are the files required? You need 2 files. One is Bootstrap CSS, another one icons. I am not using icons. Actually, I can use icons. How you will use icons? Suppose here register class name BI. This is an icon. Actually, person, circle. Okay, you can see it looks with an icon. This is an icon. We are having one icon. These are Bootstrap icons. Bootstrap comes with icons. We can use those icons, right? So this is a button, this is an icon, and these are the form elements. So what you should know, how we can create a design complex. Now, if you know this, then like this now, we can create like this. We can create this screen by using the knowledge of whatever function components you learned and the Bootstrap. I will copy this example, what I created, along with all these points. So what are those all points? So we have done all this. I hope you are the rules of JSX, how to use components and design a UI, how we can make the components little attractive. So make it interactive, responsive, functional, all we can do by using what this, right? This is enough for today. You should try this. If you can try this on Monday session, this is our target. Okay. In Monday session, we are going to design a complete Netflix screen. And if you are offline, you can bring your laptops. You can design along with me. Step by step, I will show. You can try along with me. And make sure that before that, you set up all the environment. All the environment setup, I told you, na? So set up all the environment. So you will not do any installation newly. You will directly design a page. So we will do this step by step process in our Monday session. Our target is to design this screen with the help of React components concept, right? If we can do, that's good. Then we can make it work later. First we will design, then make it work. We will make them work. Okay, Monday will continue then, right? So Monday we will check with this. Yeah, you can leave if you're done.